why do you think our organization thinks that it's important to share data? First of all, we think that we are in a new era of medical research. It's really fast approaching. And as a researcher and scientist, really can not only read the latest publication or check the literature, you also need to explore the data associated with the study, regularly explore the data available in the field and incorporate it or learn from it in your own research. So really open science and open data it's key to the success of this next generation of science. So we really want to promote open science in our community. And then helping researchers to, in the process of sharing data, but also tools and resources, facilitate cross-disciplinary scientific collaboration because everything is going to be more transparent. And then at the same time, have a platform that allows also for large-scale analysis of NF data. So it's almost like a one-stop shop on the portal where you can find all of the different types of data.
So why do we care about open science and data sharing? I mean, that's really why we're all here. So I wrote out our guiding principles, and these were adapted from the Panton Principles in Open Data and Science. Essentially, our goal is to facilitate a marketplace exchange of ideas because we really believe that that's the only way that the research we fund can be leveraged for future discoveries. So we have three things that we are making an assumption on. One, we believe that science is based on collaboration, which means that for it to move forward and do well, we need to be continually building upon, reusing, and openly criticizing scientific knowledge and having active discourse. The second assumption is that for society to, for science to effectively function, it's critical that science data be made open. And third is that the ultimate value of data cannot be predicted. We never know what new technologies are coming forward or methods. And so we want to make sure that that data is accessible. So that way, if we want to reanalyze or do meta-analysis, that data is there for us to use.
There's a place for us to definitely partner with FASEB. I mean, a lot of this is field dependent. The researchers know best, but ensure there is appropriate metadata. What is that first before you ensure what is appropriate? So this is a place where we do need to partner with the whole ecosystem.
Maybe I can tackle this. It's what I alluded before is to, in our example, for instance, Sage Network is not just, curating our community. They work also curating, for instance, the Alzheimer research community, other different communities in cancer and so on and so forth. So, I mean, and if you talk to a different repository or, different digital point where data is actually collected, those guys, they have experience in many different on the back end and very different communities, so they know what is common and what is peculiar to one community. So reach out to that repository people and specifically ask for if there is any standard or any guidelines. Normally those are freely shared on GitHub or specific data set or specific notifications and vocabularies. We have one that we continuously update with different versions as we add more. And those are really the open and shared documents that every repository looks, for instance, to maybe upload our data into their own collection, because that also is very important to make sure that I don't want my data in isolation from my community. I want my data to sit with cancer data so it can be compared against and used as a confrontation. So that's very important, and we're trying to do that on the back end and as much as possible.
So one of the things that we've done is, after our funding and sort of knowing where we want to go and the types of data sets that are being generated, we identify individuals from each of those teams and put them together into a working group so that they can talk out these are the different experiments they're doing. What is the minimum set? So that way, if you wanted to do a meta-analysis and enhance your data later on, is feasible, so that we can leverage that data. So right now, we don't have a lovely go to this site and this is going to be the perfect answer for every single data type. So I want to acknowledge that that is a problem in the field and something that we're very aware of. And so in the meantime, what we're doing is making sure that at least within our network, there is cohesion. And we're also thinking towards the future of where we strategically want to go, to ensure that our grantees are also part of that conversation and have buy-in, because they are the experts. They're the ones doing the data. And in our experience, when someone has buy-in, they're more likely also to follow up and become a champion.